We're back here at Not Your Average Cinema talking about our fantasy booking for WrestleMania. And we've already had our actual WrestleMania predictions of what matches we think are going to happen. So if you haven't checked those videos out, you can go check those out. Today I will be doing my fantasy booking. And one could argue my predictions were maybe a little bit more closer to fantasy booking than what could maybe actually happen. But
Good.
after. Note, we put these lists together before The Rock returned on SmackDown. So uh, this was based off the assumption that it would be a surprise if The Rock returned. So it changes
Yes.
it changes what this looks like. I mean, it changes me predicting it a little bit, knowing that now.
Yes. So when you see that he predicted The Rock versus Cody Rhodes for Cody's soul, um, I know that he thought of that beforehand.
Yes, exactly. 100%. Uh,
That
yeah, so
one
my
match
night
one.
one, match one. Uh, this was supposed to be The Rock returning.
Oh boy.
It was supposed to open WrestleMania
Look at that fancy stuff. I hope it's able to pick up these gifts. And
because he was supposed to return. It was going to pop the crowd and issue an open challenge, is what he was going to do, because he heard all these internet crybabies out there talking about how he wasn't going to show up at WrestleMania. He wasn't going to be there. And he's like, oh, okay, I hear you guys. I am going to be there. This was the storyline I wanted. Um, so he was going to be heel Rock returning, doing his open challenge. And this will maybe spoil what I kind of thought was going to happen in the Elimination Chamber. Don't currently know what the results of that are, but the person that's going to answer this open challenge is someone that did not win the Elimination Chamber, someone that I think is maybe the favorite to win it, was possibly the favorite to win the Royal Rumble, or close, first or second, I think. And that is John Cena
oh my goodness. Coming to answer the call.
coming to answer The Rock's open challenge. And
And here,
then, of course,
here's my
oh,
prediction for how this is gonna go. I think it's this right here. This is exactly what's gonna happen. He's gonna rock bottom him, immediately say, "Get out of my ring!" And then he's gonna break open some rock tequila in the back to celebrate.
well, that was pretty close to what I thought was going to happen, but maybe not. Because they do a lot of talking like that and before the match, because everyone loves when John Cena and The Rock get into it. And they're obviously going to have this once in a lifetime match. Certainly has not happened at two prior WrestleManias.
One. Maybe that's why he counted to three
It
months
might
ago.
be. Showing that's the third match, it's the rubber match. Who's going to win? We've all wondered because they each have one win, I believe. So as they talked, John Cena says, well, based on this crowd's reaction, I think I'm the people's champ. And hopefully the crowd will react.
Yeah,
Otherwise, that would not be great, even though they react quite a bit to The Rock, too. So we'll see how that works out. But uh, they deter they will fight for The Rock's People's Championship. So I don't know that this will actually count for John Cena's 17th championship or whatever, but we're going to pretend like it means something to Cena.
that's true. You're gonna have a huge asterisk for what was his 17th championship. If you have him win this, oh my goodness.
Exactly. And spoiler, because of other plans later, John Cena does win this match.
Okay, okay. So
He
John
does
Cena
win this
wins
match.
the
And he
kind of
wins the
Muhammad
People's
Ali
Championship.
championship. The Rock. That's really a big deal. He carries that around
that
constantly.
that is a big deal. But I mean, we know that, The Rock being in charge of everything, he will get that belt back.
Yeah, that's going to set up
He'll maybe give Cena
fourth in a
a title
lifetime.
shot. Cena knows how much that means to him. He knows he can trade that in, kind of like a money in the bank kind of thing,
That's true.
for a future title shot. So, but yeah, so it starts off with a bit of a bang, and then we get into the second match here. And this will be for a women's championship. It will be for the women's Intercontinental Championship, and it will feature someone that I would say probably I don't think they returned here because otherwise it would probably be two open challenges back to back. So they maybe returned like a couple weeks prior. I don't
Okay.
know, maybe a Raw, kind of maybe a main event spot on Raw. We are
Mm.
showing off some of the newer kind of talent in the women's division. Lyra Valkyria will have the Intercontinental Championship. And at the end of some great match, I don't know who she's having it against, Becky Lynch will return
Oh my
and
goodness.
she will pretty much call her shot, saying that she wants a chance at that belt at WrestleMania. And she
Okay.
gets the chance.
It's true. She hasn't
And
been around since this was invented. So she wants Grand Slam.
exactly. I mean, it means something in that way to, the older female wrestler. Well, she's not that old.
The
Because
ancient
in
Mae
wrestling
Young.
terms, she feels old, but she's probably in her 30s. She's not that old, but feels old, and just because she's been around for a while now. But yeah, she's won, I think, pretty much everything else outside of these new women's championship belts that they've added. So this is very important to her. So it is actually meaningful. It's not like, oh, she's just returning for. It's kind of like maybe a future match that I have where someone wants to win a belt that they haven't won before. So
Ooh.
um, yes, and then we get into my third match here. And I don't know exactly how I had you put these because I put Drew and Arrow. So I'm not sure which one
Hmm.
it will be. So you may have to reveal it for me.
So
So I won't get
I
the
put
build.
another women's match here.
Okay, yeah, that's what I just wanted to make sure. So I guess we're going back to back women's matches, and that's mostly just because I had a different match that I thought needed to be the main event match.
Yeah. So as
So this
chaotic
one,
as it is on the day at WWE.
things are changing. It's we'll say the one that's main event was supposed to be, but now they forced this. So these women are very upset, and they're going to put on a hell of a match because it is going to be for the women's championship, and that is Rhea Ripley versus Io Sky.
Oh
Uh,
my
and
goodness. Rematch.
they've kind of hinted at something happening here. I don't know if it's for sure going to be a one-on-one match or if they would maybe make it a triple threat match in reality. Uh, but I would like it to just be a one-on-one match. So this one is something that could actually happen, I think. I don't think it's that crazy of a thing
Yeah.
that could happen. And yeah, I don't know that they deserve like I kind of feel I don't know if a this third match will kind of feel like a bathroom break sort of because start off with maybe two really hot things, but I don't think you're just gonna have to hold it because
You think this is
it's
a
just a banger.
bathroom match? Who has to take a bathroom
No,
break?
no,
Three
no. I,
matches
I don't
in.
think this match is. I'm just saying we're getting to like the third, fourth matchup. And sometimes, you've started off hot, and then
That's
this is
true.
where people are like, okay, well, we saw kind of a couple really good things, but we're just keeping them coming.
Hold it
So,
in. I don't go the whole time. Man, if I'm out of the
exactly.
house, I ain't
Like, I
going.
paid too much for my WrestleMania tickets.
Buy a little baggie or something or a
Exactly.
bottle.
It's like all the Taylor Swift fans.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I think this has the potential to be another really great match. And I wouldn't mind Io winning this one.
Yeah, I think if I think they could go this way, and they could definitely build her up as a big baby face that everyone wants just because of the trials she's had to face to get there. Which I
100%.
assume you would put her through hell to get this spot.
Exactly. We would because yeah, she has not capitalized on her opportunities so far, so she's gonna have to do some big things to get there. And they'll all be good. Okay, so this will maybe be the bathroom break match, I would think,
Yeah,
for most people. And that I think this could be a really good match, potentially. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like so this is a tag team match to undo what was done in last year's WrestleMania, where
oh
we
boy.
split the belts. We are going to unify those tag team titles again. We're just going to
Wow.
keep going and doing this every other WrestleMania. But yes, it will be the War Raiders versus DIY. This is
So
what I would want. I'd want a ladder match. I think these two could have the potential to be really, I don't know, play
yeah,
off each other really well, potentially.
yeah,
I don't know. It could be a big dud. has the potential, though, I think,
So
to
we're
be a
we're
solid match. I just think with the two bigger guys and two smaller guys, sometimes that really works. Sometimes it does not.
for sure. Big guy can
I
go
think
through
it
the
could.
ladder. And Ivar, I think probably both of them extremely agile, surprisingly.
Right. I think that's what helps.
Yeah,
You're thinking, oh, well, he's just gonna do all. I don't know. Sometimes the big guys get certain spots that it's like, yeah, maybe that's not as fun. But yeah, they're both kind of high flyers as well, which I think adds to the excitement of a ladder match. And yeah, I was thinking otherwise too. This could be a DIY weapon match because I think the War Raiders could bring their own weapons, and then it's just playing in the name of DIY. So
that's
uh,
true. I would
they
like to
could bring
see
their own weapons.
some
We'd
segments
have to,
of DIY Tommy and Johnny trying to home make some weapons.
I would like those segments, and then so I want those segments. I want a lot of them, and then I want like no one stops the War Raiders from making these actually very, very dangerous weapons, like swords, axes, whatever they're making. And then when they actually get there, they have, I don't know, they have these people there to check the match in like a comedy type thing. And oh, no, 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 you can't bring any of these things in there. And all these dumb ones. Maybe DIY hired some people that had
Yeah,
to be like the safety experts or whatever. And then, yeah, I don't know. This one could be just a comical match as well.
it
Have the
could be.
comedy
That
spots.
could be. I mean, that's too good to go to a bathroom for. So
It's
they're
true.
holding it in still.
Yes. But then I am just burning through all these great women's matches. We're going right into the other women's championship. I don't know. I might rearrange some of these matches now that I think these kind of just were going in places I was writing it. And yeah, I probably would maybe move one of these over into night two. But we will say night one is all about the women's matches not being the lead off to the show or main event, I guess, but filling in that inner middle of the show, keeping people watching. And this will be the other title, so we will have Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair. I'm actually interested in this match, and I think this is what it's going to be. I think it's all but confirmed that this is what it's going to be, unless maybe some additional person is added in there. I don't think I would add another person in this one. I think this one's going to work pretty well. Um, yeah, I think this one could be a really solid match, and hopefully it's a way for Tiffany Stratton to kind of elevate herself to that next level, maybe. Even though
Yeah.
she has the title, so you could say she's already at that top level. I think she still has a little bit of ways to go, and I think this could help her. But knowing Charlotte Flair, she probably will not let her have that moment. It seems like everyone that faces Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania, who you feel like might be able to get over and have that moment, never seems to have that happen.
Nope.
So,
But this is your
but in
fantasy book.
my fantasy booking, Tiffany
Yeah.
is winning.
Yes. Well,
She's gonna pin Charlotte in 1 minute.
oh wow. Well, I mean, we have a lot of stacked matches. We're gonna need to shorten some of them.
We are. We are because obviously The Rock actually he's told he had 10 minutes. He made that a 30-minute segment to begin with. So we had to cut time for him. But then my sixth match, this one's just a match for me, I think. Uh, I don't know that many people would necessarily want to see this match, and it is a tag team match. Um, and this one is a reuniting of a tag team that happens over the course of these next couple months. Uh, just because we'll start with, we know Chad Gable has had his issues with the LuCHADors, and I think he's going to continue to have his issues with them. He's going to get some training, supposedly. I think Dom gave him, I don't know, he sent him to someone, I think was the storyline. But I think even when he comes back, I think he's still going to have issues with him, and Dom and Penta are going to laugh because they were both in on this joke that, oh, oh, you sent him to that person. They don't know anything about Lucha Libre. So obviously he's going to be upset with them. But I think when he comes back, also in my fantasy booking, we will just say that all of his American-made people have gone on to be very successful. Even though it doesn't really make any sense because the other people still have the tag team championships and the Intercontinental Championship. So they obviously did not win those belts. We will say they won those belts and then lost them.
No, there we go.
Sometime between, so when he returned, they had the belts, and they lost them back to the people that had them prior to while Chad was in the
But overall,
belts.
very successful.
Exactly. Uh, well, once the second Chad left, that's when they lost their success.
Yeah.
But so he was looking for someone to help him. And then while this was happening, the New Day got in on it as well. And just, we're like, oh, Chad, you are just a goon. You're just the worst. You should join us. Uh, so Chad finds his tag team partner. Eventually, Otis feels bad enough for him, and he joins back up with Chad, and we get him in a tag team reunion. But it will be Lucha Chad and Otis versus the two luchadors, Penta and Dom, and then the New Day.
That's that just for the Otis and Chad.
LuCHADor.
LuCHADor. Uh, just for that team. And Dom and Penta together is pretty amazing as well. And everyone hates the New Day. I don't even know what the crowd reaction would be to this. They've hated Chad, they hate the New Day, they hate Dom, they love Penta, they have loved the New Day, they love Otis. Who's going to be cheered for? I have no clue.
Oh, they're going to be cheering for LuCHADor
Luke, Chad,
and
or
Otis. But yes, there will be some people that are like, why did we waste a spot on WrestleMania for this? And then we'll just have to tell them that whole storyline I just said.
That's
Uh, but yeah, so once we get over that match, that great match that will be for no titles, no extra rules, it'll be a tornado tag. We'll say all six men are going to be in the ring at once. The New Day might be punching each other. Going to cause some controversy. But then we'll get to number 7 match, and this is a match that influences the next night. I always love those types of matches. And this one's kind of in a way similar to what we had last year with the, what was it, Bloodline Rules on the Line or whatever match. And this one is, so who Drew ended up winning the Elimination Chamber. So he chose to face Cody Rhodes since at this point Jay had already chosen Gunther. So we're like, okay, we're getting Drew versus Cody. We were all shocked because we all heard the rumors that he was going to be fighting Damian Priest. So we were like, wow, how did he win the Elimination Chamber? We don't know. But but he did. He won it. But then this led to this rivalry of Randy Orton returning, and he was like, well, I didn't get any opportunity to have a chance at a championship, so I want my opportunity, and I want it now. And no one was listening to him. No one was giving him a chance. And during this time, because of who knows, some things may have happened in the chamber, and this little faction of maybe Seth Drew and Kevin Owens a little bit were teaming up against kind of these people that helped Roman Reigns. So that'd be like the Codys, the Randys, the Sami Zayns of the world. Um, so they were kind of working together, and we can say maybe they were picking on Randy some more. And then obviously, who comes to his aid? His old protege, Cody Rhodes, comes and helps him.
Ooh.
And this leads into a tag team match where, shockingly, the winning team will add their member of the team to make it a triple threat match for the championship. So it will be Cody, Drew, and the winner of this match will be in a triple threat match for the championship.
Ooh, that's a lot of star power. One
It's a
match.
lot of star power, it
And you're
is, and
getting
it
three of them the next night too. Oh my goodness.
yeah, and then it comes into it a little bit like, do I want to help my teammate? Do I want to face them? Do I want to face that other person? Because one of them's going to be in it. So this could be a lot of like, oh, do I want Seth Rollins? He might, but
That's true. They've been picking on Randy. If Randy's hurt, he's got that bad neck. Maybe you want them to win. You want an easy target for tomorrow.
exactly,
Mhm.
exactly. Um, but yeah, we won't spoil who wins that one yet. Maybe, but it is one of the teams wins. But then my main event for night one is a bit of a crazy match. I don't know how you have this on the screen.
I
We will
have
find out.
Have a big old mess. That's what I have on the screen.
So we'll just cut to the chase. This is the Samoan Shuffle match,
Oh my goodness. Uh-oh.
where Jey Uso will have
Oh
to
my
go into pretty much a gauntlet, but we had to call it something. Uh, so I called it the Samoan Shuffle match, where Jey Uso has to get through a gauntlet of all these brethren, these other Samoans, because he does not have the Ulafala, so he does not have the right to be challenging for a main championship, without the approval of the elders. Um, and Roman Reigns did not approve. So Roman Reigns was kind of the mastermind behind setting this match up. And
wow.
and he's like, well, you're gonna have to face all of us and beat all of us, including your brother, Jimmy
Oh
Uso.
God. His brother, his own brother.
His own brother. That's really, really bad. Making him do that to his own brother, and especially knowing last year that their match was not good at all. Just knowing he's setting that up at WrestleMania again is really a dastardly move. But uh, yeah, so I think this one kind of starts with Jay kind of getting through the Tonga twins. I think he just kind of beats them relatively easily.
Yeah.
So one at a time, obviously. I don't know which order for those two, but I think he kind of gets through those. And then Solo Sikoa comes out, and then he kind of, I don't know, maybe more of like a roll up sort of
Oh
thing
yeah.
with Solo, which is obviously making him furious. And in my storyline, I don't know, they're maybe hinting otherwise in actual wrestling, but that leads to Jacob Fatu as the next one coming in, and in this universe, they're not kind of butting heads nearly as much yet. I feel
Mm,
like it's already kind of a little at
yeah.
this point in time, a little further than this, but we will pretend that that has not happened. So we're thinking, oh, maybe they will both beat up on Jay, but then Solo's kind of just originally leaving, and um, Jacob Fatu is handling Jay pretty well. It looks like he might actually be able to take him out. And then I don't know. I think Solo's kind of just watching, and you can tell he's maybe getting a little frustrated that he seems to be doing better than he did. And eventually, Jacob Fatu kind of does some running move against the rope, and then you see Solo Sikoa tripped him. Oh man, what a dastardly guy! He looks out, and you see their faces, the reactions, and then Solo goes in and punches Jay, which disqualifies him, so he doesn't have to lose, doesn't get pinned. That is a main point. But then
You're
those
just
two
punching
brawl.
him? You're sure he's not doing the spike?
Oh yeah, he spikes him. Yes,
Spikes
that
him.
would make more sense. Um, so yeah, obviously he loses because of that. But then those two are kind of fighting, and Jacob Fatu puts him through the announce table. Yeah,
Oh,
it's a lot of going on. He actually puts him through both.
oh my
It's
goodness.
quite the scene. Maybe the House of Horrors match. But then we get Jimmy coming out. Luckily, it was Jimmy because he does not want to take advantage of his brother just getting spiked and blindsided by these two hooligans. Uh, but so they redeem themselves and have a little bit better of a match. It's still not a long match, and I think this is another maybe a tricky roll up kind of win. And Jimmy's like, "Oh, you got me, you got me again." I don't even remember who won their last matchup. Did Jimmy win or Jay? I don't even remember.
I think Jay won it.
Okay, so yeah, he
Got him
he just kind of
again.
like got you again. Come on, guy, you just got Roman Reigns to go, because at this point we can see right there the Rock is on there, but he does not know. He was told all these other guys in Roman. He was not told the Rock. Uh, so he knows all he has to do is beat the Rock or Roman Reigns. And Roman Reigns music hits. Everyone crowd goes wild. So everyone wants to see Roman actually win the belt. They don't want Jay to win it, but they've gained some respect for him through this match. And then Roman and Jay go at it for probably 25 to 30 minutes, maybe longer.
So Jay's been wrestling for an hour now.
So it's been about an hour. It's been just about an hour of wrestling. And
It's a lot of
he
super kicks.
eventually is able to dodge the spear and hits hits a super kick, hits a super kick, hits a super kick. Some of the best super kicks he's ever hit.
Wow.
And then hits the best frog splash he's ever hit, and he pins Roman Reigns. And the crowd is shocked, and his music plays, and everyone is yeeting, especially Pat McAfee. He's on the table yeeting. And
The
then
tables
the
are
lights
broken.
go down.
I thought the tables were broken.
Well, we don't know what's happening. He doesn't have to. Maybe he's not on the table. He's eating on the, I don't know, the barricade. Who knows where he's eating at? It could be happening anywhere. Then the lights go out, and we're like, oh my gosh, what is this? Wyatt Six? What's going on here? Is this the Undertaker? And nope, it is Dwayne the Rock Johnson, very upset about what happened earlier this night, and he is saying, I'm pretty much the owner of WWE. I'm the chairman of the board of TKO, and I can put myself in this match. I deserve to be in this match because I am also of Samoan descent. That is I've got my opportunity. And he goes in and pretty much, pretty much beats Jay pretty quickly, just
Wow.
because. Well, I mean, he had maybe it looks like Jay's gonna roll him up or something, and it doesn't work. And you can tell after his match with Roman that it was just a bit too much for him to overcome at that point.
And it's a little bit too much. So the
So,
final boss wins this.
final boss wins it and gets his opportunity at a title
Oh my
the
goodness.
next night.
That is a worthy main event there. It's pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. That's a stacked match there. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know how many people would be expecting The Rock to show up. I mean, obviously he's related, but he already had competed, and maybe if Cena hadn't taken him down, maybe he wouldn't have entered this match. I don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm
I don't think he would have.
a little disappointed that they weren't all in the ring at once, because I did make this slide as if they are all just fighting about in the ring, and that's made me chuckle the past few days.
Well, they might have to be in order now.
That's the post. That's the post match angle, right?
Wow,
So that's the end of night
that is the
one.
shuffle. That is
There's
the end
this.
of night one.
Oh boy,
Wow.
pretty good night one. Pretty stacked. A lot of championship matches. Wow.
Yeah, a lot of them. Well, we have like 25 championship belts, and they're just adding more. So, uh, yeah, we're gonna have a match, championship belt each match. Which right off the bat on night two, we are starting with a championship match, and The Rock is gonna get right back to work. He only starts shows and end shows. That's all he does.
This is his third match.
This is third match. Rock goes from everybody thinking he ain't gonna be at WrestleMania to three matches. It's shocking. Everyone's really shocked. They're like, wow, I did not expect The Rock to come, let alone wrestle three times. More than any other man at WrestleMania, possibly. But yes, he will be facing Gunther then in Jay's spot. And then, due to a favor, which I don't know how Paul Heyman went over The Rock's head on this one, but he must know some higher up people than even The Rock knows. It's pretty high up at that point. And he finally gives Punk his favor.
Oh,
Punk has been asking for this favor forever, and he finally gives it to him. And he's going to be in this match. And this is a match that no one in their right mind saw coming in any way. A triple threat match between The Rock, CM Punk, and Gunther.
right now, no one would believe you if you said this was going to happen.
But the reason why Paul Heyman allowed it, finally said, okay, is because of the history of CM Punk and The Rock. He's like, well, now that it's The Rock, I didn't want to ruin this for Jey Uso. But since it's The Rock and he did what he did to take this from Jey, because Paul Heyman felt really bad for Jey. He was out there doing the shuffle with them in that last slide. Uh, he was like, you know what, CM Punk, you go and you beat that Rock's ass. You go beat him badly. And he lets him go in to try to redeem what happened I think at the Royal Rumble. I think it was the Royal Rumble where The
Yeah.
Rock took. I think that might have been the Rock Cena time, the first time or something. He took Punk's championship, which I think was when he had that long reign. I could be
I think so.
misremembering. I think it was like the 300 or 400 day reign. I
Yeah.
think it was ended by The Rock, I believe. Um,
Yeah.
and yeah, he's trying to get revenge from all those years ago. So Gunther is kind of caught in the middle of this whole thing. You really wonder how he plays into this,
Like
but
that same thing happened with him and Damian Priest and Finn Balor. Why is he always the third wheel? He's the champion.
you really start to wonder how he becomes the third wheel of matchups. But he does. And somehow, even with two people that are maybe a little past their prime, this match is going to be a great one to start off the night.
Really, you didn't book it to be a terrible match. That's a good one. That's a crazy triple threat. I
That
like
is
it.
one I didn't even see coming,
You didn't
to be
even.
fair. Um, but yeah, then we get into the night two, match two, which will be for the Women's U.S. Championship. I really want to just get all these championships on the line. And this one is going to be a fatal four-way match. I think this was just a way to get some of the other women on the show here, and that will be wow. That will be Alexa Bliss, Liv Morgan, Chelsea Green, and as you can see there, Nia Jax, um, who everyone wants in this match, but actually, the reason she is in this match is to take the pin. Everyone thinks Chelsea Green might be taking the pin here, but she is not going to be the one taking the pin. Nia Jax is here to take the pin. And yeah, I think anyone would really be happy with any of the other three winning this match.
Think
If Nia
so.
Jax wins this match, they may not be very happy though.
Mm-mm. They would not be. I mean, who do you
And
have winning the
I
match?
think we're going to tease that pretty heavily too. That she is
Oh yeah.
on multiple occasions going to win,
Oh yeah. You got it.
and
You
we're
got
going to have
to.
some unbelievable breakouts of pins. I think from the other three women. Every one of them is going to have this incredible one after they've taken multiple finishers, and they're like, "Oh gosh, she's going to win," and they're going to all kick out, and the crowd is going to go wild.
Oh boy. You got to tease that horrible outcome. That's a good one.
Uh,
That's a good one.
yeah, and then I think we've got match three, uh, which is also a match that maybe could happen. I don't know if it will because it seems to be happening a little bit earlier. I think Elimination Chamber. I think they maybe said.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
but I want this one at WrestleMania. We're gonna have it. I'd rather have it at WrestleMania. I think it's worthy. I think. Well, no matter what, I know one of these guys has to be on WrestleMania. I guess the other one I could take or leave. Um, Maybe he got injured and had to replace him with someone else. Who knows? But this is a match that always gets the fight forever chance going, and that is KO, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn
Oh my goodness.
in a Vegas strip street fight. And they are not actually stripping. It's just at the Vegas Strip is when it's happening. Because they did not have it in Minnesota like I thought they were going to, and it's just very disappointing. So really, actually, this is probably all these are going to be terrible, terrible matches, and it would have been
Yes.
much better in Minnesota had it been held here. Uh,
Yes.
but it would have been much closer to their home, so they would have preferred it. I think, although I think Elimination Chamber is in Canada, so that's even closer, I guess. So maybe that's why they're fighting there. But yeah, I think these guys could put on a great street fight match. Seems like whenever Kevin Owens is in special stipulation matches, he always puts on a great show. I don't know that anyone does it better than him. He's always the one I want in those types of matches if they're going to have him because I think he just does an amazing job. Um, and I'm always disappointed he's not the one, but he never ends up getting the win. So I'm sure, well, in my fantasy booking, he is getting this win. He is finally getting it, but I know if WWE books this, they're going to let that fool Sami Zayn get it. He's just a fool. That's all he is.
Absolute
He's
fool.
a good wrestler too, but
Yeah. Yeah.
he's a bit of a fool sometimes. So, yeah, after KO and Sammy tear down the building, well, tear down the street, the strip. Um, then we think we're gonna have another banger of a match supposed to be happening, but then out of nowhere, who shows up? Who do you think shows up, Pepper? Who
Who do
shows
you
up?
think shows up?
Who?
I don't
Who?
know. I can't see the future.
I didn't think so, and no one could, except this man, John Cena,
Oh my goodness.
who comes out and he says, "Since this is my last WrestleMania, I gotta fight on both nights. I gotta do it. Didn't have to, but I gotta. It's gonna be my last WrestleMania." And yeah, he's like, "I'm doing an open challenge. This isn't for that People's Championship
No,
that he just won the prior
he
night.
ain't putting that up for grabs.
He's not doing that. He knows how important that's going to be for him earning the actual next championship. But he's just like, I want to. I said how I want to fight some of these younger guys, kind of, see if they have what it takes to become the next John Cena. So, kind of an open challenge to anyone, any of the guys backstage, any of those that maybe looked up to me when I was wrestling my way over the last few years. And, maybe he names some names that people get all excited about. And then he just kind of standing there all goofy like John Cena is now. And and then whose music hits? But
My,
Our truth is answering the open challenge of John Cena because that is his childhood hero. He grew up watching on Saturday morning when he was eating his cereal. I used to watch John Cena all the time. What better thing to do than to have a chance at WrestleMania against his all-time favorite wrestler? And John
well,
Cena obviously loves this. He's like, "Oh, this is going to be a lot of fun." And we finally give R-Truth the WrestleMania moment that he really, really needed.
that's
Um,
true. That's true. Winning the tag belts, that was nothing.
that was nothing to him, really,
You're
in the grand
facing
scheme of
John
things.
Cena. This
He's
is
going to face John Cena in John Cena's final ever WrestleMania match.
oh,
John Cena and R-Truth.
John.
When you look at it that way, it may not seem as good, but
So this is you with no restrictions. Dream fantasy booking. John Cena has two open challenge matches. One against The
mhm,
Rock and one even greater against R-Truth. I mean, they gotta interact
that's
at some
exactly
point.
it.
He's got his old move set now. I'm down for it.
I wouldn't even mind R-Truth somehow finding that 24/7/11 something something. It's been so long since he set a championship and bringing that back out and being like, John Cena, I know you. Yeah, he said, I don't know. Would it be funnier if he didn't know who he was and called him someone else?
Ooh,
But yeah, saying
could
how
be.
I know you're trying to win that 17th World Championship, and I got it right here. I will give you an opportunity to win this
I
belt off of me.
I don't know who wins this. I don't know who wins it. Does R-Truth apply the STF or
Oh, he does.
STFU as they're calling it? And does he make John Cena tap?
He definitely applies it. I don't know if he makes John Cena tap, but yeah, this one, who knows? May not end in an actual pin. Who knows? Maybe there's some interference or some shenanigans or something.
Yeah, I could
But
see it.
yes, this will be John Cena's final WrestleMania match.
Wow. Let's
Out of
see.
all my options, that is who John Cena is going to face. I
Oh,
think R-Truth has just made too much of a story of it for me to disrespect him.
oh boy, R-Truth. He would probably act as if he could not see John Cena. That's probably how it would go.
That is exactly how it would go. Partway through the match, he'd lose him. Way to go!
He'd overact, just like John Cena, fulfilling the
Exactly.
transformation. That's pretty good. Pretty good.
Yes. Who would think John Cena in a comedy match spot to end his WrestleMania career? But yeah, so then we get to that banger match that we were promised before John Cena so rudely interrupted and wanted that extra matchup. Uh, but yeah, this one is 1 years in the making for one of these lads, because this is a title match for a title that has eluded him through his entire career. It's been brought up, I think, multiple times, and that's why I feel like it might not happen. I hope this happens in real life. It could happen, but I don't know. Just part of me feels like he's kind of had a few of these opportunities, and the storyline's kind of starting to get a little stale in a way between these two, especially, or just maybe in general. Um, but this will be Sheamus's last, final
Oh my goodness.
chance at the Intercontinental title. If he does not win this, he can never challenge for it again.
My goodness.
And
Ever, ever, no matter the champion?
a last man standing, no matter the champion.
Goodness, why not just be a retirement match at that point?
It's a retirement match. Title versus Sheamus's career in a last man standing. And by
You and
God,
me.
Sheamus wins.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I hope this happens. I hope any stipulation you want to throw in there,
I hope it happens.
except like submission, that would be terrible. But any other stipulation, I'm down.
I am down for it as well, and yeah, I hope Sheamus finally wins it because I feel like if he doesn't win it, if he does get a chance, if this actually happens, he doesn't win it. It just, I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like you kick him too long and you've lost it, in
Yeah,
my opinion. And
yeah,
I feel like sometimes they've just had that happen.
yeah.
So
Especially if it's just one on one like this. I
yeah,
get like if it is a triple threat, you can kind of pull the rug from under and maybe give it to a heel or someone like that, and where he's not really involved in the finish. But if he just fails one on one, I think that would be the end of it. I think he needs to win it this WrestleMania if he's ever gonna.
I think so as well. I guess there could be the potential for. I think John Cena has also not won the Intercontinental Championship, so
Oh, we could have had John.
could
Could
be
have had
John in that match.
John
Well,
and Sheamus.
maybe he shows up.
They got history.
That's true. They do have history. I
Yeah.
guess he could have been in that match too, and he could have wrestled 3 times, just like Dwayne, just like his old buddy Dwayne. Uh, but yeah, I think that one would be a heck of a match, and I think this next one,
Don't say it.
maybe these guys are a little past their primes. I
Uh,
don't know. They probably. It feels like ages. I don't know how many years it actually was ago, but it feels like it's probably longer than I think it is
I think
that
it's.
these two already fought
Oh yes. I mean, I
for
know
the
how
world
many
title.
match it is, but I think that was 34. I think that's like 7 years ago. Oh my goodness.
It doesn't feel like that, and gosh, I don't know.
Like,
I feel like I know WWE has a lot of talent these days, and uh, it just makes it very difficult to give everyone kind of those top card spots and
yeah.
stuff. And these are two guys that I feel like I just wish, especially the one, the title holder going into this, I'll say, for the U.S. title, Shinsuke Nakamura. I just don't know. He never did win the world title, did he?
No.
I feel like he deserved at least a short run. I don't know that
Yeah.
he didn't have to have like a 300-day reign or anything, but a couple months maybe.
Yeah, I
I don't
think
know.
it really sucks. It came up in an era where they had just top tier NXT talent when NXT was just pumping them out. And that first few years of call ups were just under an organization that was not ready to push them. Now I think they're a lot more willing with people like Braun Breaker and stuff. But back then, I think he just caught in a bad era. Just didn't ever get it.
Yeah, I think so. And he'll be facing AJ Styles, another guy that I'm glad he did get
There,
his kind of runs.
there we go. Got the shirt.
I am glad that he got his runs because yeah, he was. I feel like when he was champion, he was maybe I'm. Yeah, because it's been so long ago, I'm probably got rose tinted glasses on and thinking, oh, he put on these classic matchups all the time. And maybe he didn't really, but it felt like every time he wrestled when he was champion, he was putting on great matchups. And that was probably because he had great opponents. I think he faced John Cena a lot, Shinsuke.
Yeah.
I guess I don't even remember who else, but I feel like he always got paired up with someone that was pretty solid on the other side. Um, yeah, I think these guys could tear the house down as well. Like I said, maybe they're a little past their primes, but it would be great seeing these two battle for a championship again. Um,
Yeah, I mean it's. I mean, when you have storytelling implemented into it, and character work. I mean, you look at Hell in a Cell from last year. CM Punk. Certainly, I don't think anyone would say like physically this is his prime, but that was a lot of people's best match of the year just for the story they were able to tell, and if
yeah,
they're actually able to build Shinsuke's character. And make this feel as big as their first match did. It could be a banger.
it could be. It definitely could be, and I'd hope if this does happen that it is.
Well, this is your fantasy booking, so it is. It's
It
perfect.
is.
Who
It
wins?
is.
Who wins this match? You gotta book the winners as well. You can't just book the match.
Oh well, now I got to go back and tell the winners to all these
That's true.
matchups. Uh, well, this one, oh boy,
This could
I
go.
feel
I'll allow you to not pick on this one. This is good either way.
this is tough because yeah, I don't really. The unfortunate thing is like I don't know how many years. I feel like I always hear like every year like oh AJ Styles contract is up and he's gonna be done after this one and it just keeps happening. I'm like one of these times it is really gonna be done and I'm like I'd like to see him have a championship run but all these mid card belts never get any push so it's like I don't care if he does win the U.S. title because it ain't gonna matter once he wins it. He's not gonna do shit for 3 months. Might have
If,
one match.
if anyone could, it's him.
That's true.
Yeah, yeah. I'd like to see it. I'd like to see it.
I
Hopefully.
would as well.
Uh,
Um, and then my seventh matchup. This one's a little bit more fantasy booking. I don't know how this really makes much sense, but it happens because
yeah.
we need one of the most known superstars WWE has. Um,
The
I think
most
we need him on the
universally
card somewhere.
loved superstars they have.
Definitely, really, real loved. But we have to have him on the card. So, he shows up and starts talking. Oh, Logan Paul starts talking, and I don't know. He starts talking about different people and how he got screwed out of this and that, and didn't get his opportunity to face any of these people. And for some odd reason, I don't know why. I can't think of any logical reason. I don't know what made me think this, but I just thought for some reason I don't know, this match kind of made sense in my head. Maybe it doesn't. But he mentions Joe Hendry and he says his name, and then his theme hits and he comes out, and we get Joe Hendry versus Logan Paul.
That
Maybe for the championship, the Impact Championship. I don't know.
that
Is
could be.
TNA willing to put that on the WrestleMania card? Is
Ooh,
WWE willing to put that on the
that
WrestleMania?
would
I don't
be
know.
that would be big time. If you're defending their championship, why not? I say go ahead, defend it. He can defend his whatever Pokemon card he's got there. I don't know if he still even got it or what that is.
I think it was a rare Pokemon card, but
My
yeah.
goodness. There you
Maybe he's
go.
mentioning all the champions, and that's why he talks
Yeah.
about him. Could be. Um,
Oh,
so
oh,
yeah, I could see that being and then maybe he beats. You can have him beat Logan Paul. I don't care if if they're willing to put that belt on the line on a WrestleMania show. Have him defend it, obviously, but
yeah.
you know,
Oh, boy. What if Logan Paul walks away champion? We've stolen your championship. It's the old Las Vegas screw job.
but it'll always be known as.
That'd be oh boy. I think the Joe Hendry love has died down a little bit, but I
I
think
think
this
so.
would push it right back up. That'd be an awesome moment.
Yeah, I think yeah, especially if he could somehow keep this one a secret.
Yeah.
If you could I don't think people would be expecting it. I don't think I would be expecting it. Even if this exact scenario happened, I would not in a million years expect it. If there was no like
Yeah.
tease mention of anything like that, there's no way I would expect this.
Yeah. Oh, I want it to happen. I want it to happen. It'd be awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, so we got that kind of moment, maybe more moment than match. But then we get into the eighth match of the night. Looking back, I don't know why I put this one on here. I don't know that this is really something I want. But I wanted to be nice for maybe some fans of the Bellas. Uh, After Nikki was in the Royal Rumble, um, we have we just have her wanting to have a match, and maybe she wanted a singles match, but she gets picked on. I guess that's what's always happening out in here. I just think the picking on the other people, that's just how we have to build these feuds.
Classic bully storyline.
Classic bully storyline. So obviously that means it's Naomi and Bianca because those are classic bullies.
Yes.
Um,
Classic.
and yeah, so they're beating her up for some reason. I don't know what made them. Maybe something happened with Adam. Who knows? Who knows? They're saying they should be popular like the Bellas are, not the Bellas, because
True.
they're just divas. Um, and obviously, her getting hurt brings back Brie Bella.
Oh
I don't know
my.
when the last time Brie Bella was even on any WWE show. I don't remember the last time she had a match.
Okay.
Um, and yeah, what the heck? Put the tag team belts on the line.
Yeah, I didn't
Uh,
know if these are for the belts or not. I just threw
I
them in.
think it probably was. I probably
Why
just
not?
forgot to write it. So I didn't know if you had it on there, so that's why I didn't want to say it originally. I'm like, I probably meant for it to be with for the belts. Um, but yeah, have the Bellas win.
There
All
you go.
these tag team and mid card belts always seem meaningless. So
Yeah.
we can just have them, maybe if they're willing to, can defend them the next, if they obviously probably aren't going to be weekly wrestlers. Maybe they could be, but if they're
Maybe.
not going to be, they could maybe do another match, that next Monday or Friday against the tag team and drop them again or something.
Yeah.
But gives for a nice little moment.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be good. It'll be good. Kind of like Becky coming back, possibly winning the IC, get them back. One of the few women's tag teams that I can remember from before
Yeah,
the era of the tag team championships. So give
yeah,
it.
that's true. That is true. But then we get to our main event of night two. So we're talking about that triple threat match.
Oh yes, so we had what was it? We had
We had
Cody
Cody and Drew.
and Drew.
So they were for sure in this match. And then we had the tag team match of Seth and Drew versus Cody and Randy Orton. And the winners of that, the tag team partner would be added to this match to make it a triple threat match. And I think it always works a little better when it's more of a heel, two on one
Mhm.
heel versus babyface. So we had Seth and Drew winning that match. So it is now Drew versus Cody versus Seth. Um,
Oh,
I guess it would kind of work with Randy because he's always one of those kind of tweener PRKO'd Cody from out of nowhere.
yeah,
It's kind of like you would have seen it coming.
yeah,
Uh, because that's the kind of person he is. So I would actually probably be fine with either of those triple threats.
yeah,
But yeah, I think this one would be really solid, especially with Cody trying to overcome kind of arguably two of the hotter kind of heels over the last year.
yeah,
Um, Especially since I would argue I have not loved Cody's run. I don't think as champion it has been as good as his chase.
yeah,
Hasn't been awful. It just hasn't been like I don't know that I shouldn't say I really remember most title reigns, I'm sure, but
yeah.
I don't know that there's anything that's like marked it as a greatest moment. Maybe this match could be that for
It
him.
could
I
be.
don't even know who I would have win this one. But this could be kind of a moment for him to really solidify the reign, or it could be a time to get the belt off of him, and he wouldn't even necessarily have to lose.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
This to me feels like a classic. If this was booked by WWE and they didn't want Cody to win, this feels like a classic. We're putting Drew in here to take the pin. Because for some reason we love pinning Drew McIntyre, and I don't know why, but
Roll them up.
I know that's what they would do. So I should really let Drew win this one because I know for a fact WWE would not let him win this.
That would just, oh, that'd be quite the swerve. I'd love it. I love an unpredictable triple threat.
No.
Yeah. But yeah, wait, so who won a lot of triple threats. So who won the Rock, Gunther, Punk? Forget if you did pick one for that or not. I don't think you did you? I forget.
I don't think I did pick one, but
I was thinking if
I think,
we get Rock and Cody both champions, do they unify at SummerSlam?
oh boy, yeah, that would be a big moment. I hadn't really thought that far ahead, but that would probably lead to the potential cool moment of unifying. Um, but I think I would actually pick Gunther just because, similar to Cody, uh, I think he needs a
Yeah,
big time win because I think he's kind of just been, I don't know, treading water as well, unfortunately, as champion.
yeah,
Uh, so yeah, I guess I'd probably rather him win than Cody. If I had to pick one of them to have their big moment, probably have him have the big moment of overcoming. I think Rock and Punk kind of just that could be Rock versus Punk at SummerSlam or whichever the next one is. If we get that, um, Gunther can go on to face who knows who, and then maybe one of the heels wins this one. Maybe Drew does get it, and he kind of won it and lost it last WrestleMania, and he overcomes all of that to win it back a WrestleMania later.
I like it. I like it. I mean, this
Well,
is
win the other one, I guess. It's not the same championship, I guess.
yeah.
But
This is on the table. I mean, it's out there, but like it's still on the table. Most of these matches are like they can happen. They're not unrealistic. It's not like you're bringing Jim Hacksaw Duggan back, and although now that I say that, he will appear and have a match at WrestleMania.
he
You're not
will
doing.
answer Rock's open challenge.
Oh boy, that happens. But yeah, you weren't. I would say these were just equally crazy as your actual legit predictions.
I know. Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking. I'm like, as I'm going through this, I'm like, yeah, some of these could happen. Uh, these triple threat matches for the main titles, I don't think they're going to happen, but they could.
They could.
The lineup of the three in the matches, I just feel a little out there from where our storylines are currently, so I just have a hard time believing that. But you never, you never know.
Yeah,
Some of the other ones, though, I could see happening.
yeah, yeah. Well, that was a good card. I don't know my favorite match of this whole thing. Let me see if this. What would my favorite match? I mean, I like the Samoan Shuffle, man. I like getting everybody in there, getting a story, a gauntlet match. Oh, but the bangers. But I mean, let's see. Let's put the. I want to see these guys again. Oh, come on! It didn't even go to the Shuffle. I wanted to see the Shuffle again, but. I think that might be my favorite. Just with the story, The Rock coming in. It's
I
the
think so as
highlight of
well.
the
I think that would be a highlight, especially if that earlier Rock match happens and it was kind of preset, like, oh, these people are going to be in it. Does not have the Rock in there, um, and you do have somehow Jay overcome all of those odds to get through all of that, um, and then have the Rock's music hit.
yes, absolutely fantastic, fantastic card. I know it's going to
But
be a lot to live up to. I don't know if I have as much story and backstory and about all this bullying and picking on as you do.
well, you just that's all you got to add to the
And
story to make it happen.
and I forgot about breaking the table. I was like, I got to find a spot to break the announce table finally, but I forgot to make it in there. So I'm gonna have to find a place for that. I see you did. So applause for that.
Exactly. Exactly. But yeah, let us know in the comments below if you've made it this far, which match you would like to see out of these, or if you don't want to see any of them, you're like, oh, no, no. This is terrible. Let us know. Let us know what you would book. If you would book any of these matches or how you'd book WrestleMania. Otherwise, subscribe to see. I don't know which order these will come out in. Maybe mine will go first since I went second in the predictions. If you want to go back and check
Yeah.
those out, so probably in about a week, within a week after this one releases, Pepper will have his, so you can check that one out as well.
Yes.
But yeah, otherwise, we hope to see you on those other videos. And as always, don't forget to keep on nibbling on that popcorn and doing the Samoan Shuffle.